For months, we've waited for the NBA draft lottery to see which team would get one of the greatest draft prospects of all time in Victor Wembanyama. But now, we have that answer. Wemby is going to the San Antonio Spurs. I don't think there could be a better fit out there. The Spurs have been historically excellent at both drafting and developing talent, especially with international players, and Wemby will be joining an underrated young core that could resurrect the Spurs dynasty. Plus, all Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker have volunteered to help mentor Wemby. Here's why Victor Wembanyama will completely transform the NBA in upcoming years, and why he and the Spurs are perfectly situated for the future. But before we get to that, be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a tremendous difference for the channel, and also be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. Victor Wembanyama has been one of the most hyped prospects in NBA history for years now, going viral for his 7'4" frame, ability to handle the ball and shoot, and clips like him holding his own against three-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. In actuality, Wemby stands at 7'5" with shoes on and is an NBA unicorn by every stretch of that term. Despite his enormous frame, he has great agility and ball handling skills in the half court and in transition. He can blow by and take on defenders off the dribble like a versatile wing. He can create his own shot. He has solid footwork, and the combination of all of that with his ability to stretch the floor and finish inside make him nearly unstoppable. Sticking with his floor spacing ability, Wemby's jumper is practically unguardable and unblockable given his ginormous frame. Again, he's 7'5" with shoes on with an 8-foot wingspan, and can really hit NBA range threes with this smooth jumper. Wemby's bag of tricks is also pretty deep, as he can use that aforementioned footwork in the post area to fake out defenders and hit you with post fades. And just as importantly, his frame in combination with his agility and ability to cover ground makes him to have great defensive potential. He still needs to bulk up once he enters the league to be more of an interior force defensively, but he can still alter shots with his sheer presence, and he can be a nightmare as a help defender. In terms of what his floor and ceiling will be, well, barring injury, the absolute floor is somewhere in the mold of what Kristaps Porzingis is right now. I know he plays in Washington and isn't going to get the love that he deserves, but Porzingis quietly averaged 23-9 while shooting 38% from 3, and was the template of what people thought a unicorn was in 2015. But at his peak, again, assuming he's fully healthy, I really think that Wemby could be one of a kind and an all-time great player. And this is a safe bet because he is a San Antonio Spur. In actuality, Wemby is the third first overall pick by the Spurs franchise, and the other two happen to be two top 75 players of all time. The first of those being the Admiral David Robinson, taken first overall in the 1987 NBA draft. After serving 2 years in the Navy to start his career, Robinson was an all-star in just his rookie season and went on to average 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Matter of fact, between 1990 and 1996, Robinson made the All-Star team 7 straight years to start his career and averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. Unfortunately for he and the Spurs, Robinson would play in just 6 games in the 1997 season, but that would mean that the Spurs would get a high lottery pick, a pick that ended up being Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan immediately entered the league and ushered in an era of winning when stepping on the court, making the All-Star team in just his rookie season, winning a title and Finals MVP in his second season, and going to win 5 titles and 2 MVPs. He's one of the best defenders ever, he's easily a top 10 player of all time, and the Spurs won at least 50 games in every single season that he's played, except for the lockout season in 1999, where there were literally only 50 games. The San Antonio Spurs have been far from their winning ways over the past few seasons, but have seemingly turned their franchise around through a series of smart moves. The first of which was trading All-Star DeJounte Murray. In San Antonio, Murray developed from a great defensive guard that just needed to make strides offensively to being one of the better two-way guards in our game. However, after his lone All-Star season and the Spurs not willing to commit to a long-term extension because it would cripple them financially, they traded him when his value was at its highest. They got 3 firsts in that deal, got more financial flexibility, and were able to drop in the win column while still developing their young guys. Devin Vassell was drafted with the 11th pick in the 2020 NBA draft and has made significant strides in his game since his rookie season, jumping by a whole 13 points per game and having his best season from 3 at 39% on 7 attempts a game. Combining his high IQ with a 6'10 wingspan, Vassell has shown vast improvements at finishing inside. He has good off-ball movement due to his ability to cut and willingness to take catch-and-shoot threes, with him shooting at 43% on 4 attempts a game, and with him playing passing lanes well due to his pterodactyl wingspan. What else doesn't get talked about enough is that he's one of the better mid-range shooters that we have in our game, shooting 46% on those attempts this past regular season. Another member of the Spurs improving backcourt that Wemby will receive service from is Tre Jones, the brother of Tyus Jones of the Memphis Grizzlies, but is a player that's actually making a name for himself. Though he still needs to improve his outside shots, he doubled his points production this past season, averaged 6.6 assists to just 1.6 turnovers, and shot 86% from the free throw line. Moving on to the front court, Keldon Johnson is definitely molding himself into a more dynamic scorer. He, just like Jones, struggled with his outside shot last season and overall efficiency with increased volume, but shot 40% from 3 in 2022, put up a career high of 22 points per game in 2023, is good at running the open floor, and averaged 4 assists over his last 13 games of this season. If he can work on his in-between games, such as mid-range jumper and floaters, and further develop his playmaking, he's going to be a real headache for defenders in the future. Last but certainly not least, Jeremy Sochan and Victor Wembanyama could form a really scary defensive frontcourt in the near future. He's a great isolation defender, a great screen navigator, excellent at reading the ball, and has high IQ, agility, and flexibility to guard multiple positions. What's scary about the Spurs is that they not only are in good hands due to having Greg Popovich at the helm for the foreseeable future, but they have their own first-round picks. They have 3 first-rounders from the DeJounte Murray trade, they have 1 from the Jakob Poeltl trade, and potentially have an additional 6 first-round picks over the next 3 years. They'll have time to grow at their own pace, they'll get national TV appearances because of Wembanyama, and based off the track record of developing guys like Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Kawhi Leonard into Hall of Fame talents, the Spurs are in good hands. With that being said, let me know down below in the comments section how you feel about the San Antonio Spurs and how high you think their potential actually is. Be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a tremendous difference for the channel, and also be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. Hope to see you all in the next one, and stay tuned.